Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 9. This is our big midterm assignment. And it's not necessarily meant to scare you to say it's big, but it is bigger. It's bigger than what we've done in the past. And I want to point out that there is an extended lecture on this grant proposal assignment. It was recorded previously, but it does give you a lot of technical information about how to record your screencast, what's included. I may repeat myself a little bit here, but I do want to introduce it very briefly to you as far as what we're getting involved with for this week. So this is going to require a little bit of research, a little bit of writing, a little bit of recording. So pretend for a moment that you are a teacher and you have an opportunity to win a $30,000 grant. You are competing with others in your district or maybe in all over the state. So keep that in mind. You have to be a little persuasive. You want your grant to be the one that's picked. So you have 30 grand to do with as you will for a particular school of your choice. And we're going to concentrate on actually looking at the data and figuring out what we can do to increase achievement, quality of life, whatever it is that you want to focus on in that real specific school environment. So the grant proposal includes 3 parts. It's going to have a spreadsheet, it's going to have a presentation of some kind, and you're going to record your presentation for all of us in an up to 10-minute or so presentation. So you're actually going to take us through your slides as if you were giving this presentation in front of, say, a school board, or in front of the principal, or in front of a grant committee. So keep that in mind. This is going to come to a point where we're going to record. Hopefully you're pretty comfortable with recording by now, as we've done some flip grids, but you are going to use a tool like what I'm using right now. I'm using Screencastify, which is a very simple addition to your Chrome browser. So it's actually that little guy right there, and you've probably seen it before, but it's showing my recording now, and I can start and stop my recording at any point. You can record up to 10 minutes with Screencastify for free, and you can record, I think, 50 videos a month. So it's a very good way to do this sort of thing. And it directly sends to your Google Drive. Actually, here's my Screencastify recordings, and you can actually look at one. Hi, everybody. We don't need to hear it, but you can see that it's automatically sent to Google Drive, and if I want, I can also send it to YouTube, and you get the links for that. So you can always copy these links and paste them, and that's a part of what I need. I also would like to see your slides, so I'd like to have that link as well, or document if you decided to do a PowerPoint document. And I'd also like to see your spreadsheet. So you want to make sure to actually send me that Excel spreadsheet or Google Drive spreadsheet that you made. So each step will explain the process of where we're going. So we're going to start with data gathering. We're actually going to do some research. Think about iReady or iStep scoring. Talk about, look at ECAs if you're in high schools. Look at graduation rates, maybe the standards that are going on AYP, adequate yearly progress reports. There's lots of things to check out from the IDOE Compass website. So our Indiana Department of Education does a very good job making school data available. Other states do too, and if you wanted to do something from a different state, you certainly can. Most people choose not to, but some of the, like Illinois, for example, their data is a little harder to get access to. It's not impossible, it's just a little harder and not quite delineated in friendly graphs and things like that. So something to keep in mind. You can go to another state, but we're going to use this state. The extended lecture shows you a lot more, but basically all you do is type in, say, the name of a town or the name of a school. So for example, maybe I would look at Hammond High School, and it'll show you how many students are there, who's the principal. You can also get access to the other schools in the district if you want to look at them for examples. And it gives you these nice charts to show you who's getting, say, free and reduced lunch, where the ethnicities are, their passing trends, how they compare to the rest of the state and to the corporation, and their graduation rates. So you can start to see trends by looking at some of this data. So you can see that their I-STEP or their ECA passings as high school in English and algebra together are a little bit short of where the rest of the corporation is, and a little bit short of the rest of the state as well. So these are areas that are obviously of concern that the school probably wants to address. How can your grant? Now 30 grand sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not. So what can you do to help even just a little bit with that money? Is that in apps? Is that in equipment? Is that in a new program of some kind, like say developing a specific math, a math-based program to help students, an after-school program, something like that. Do you want to maybe give them a after-school robotics club or something like that to build some interest in computer science and therefore building their math skills? Whatever that is, that's what you're going to start doing your research on. So you can look around and see, how does all that think about those ISTE standards? How does ISTE fit into all this? And then start doing some research on. These are just a few choices. There's lots of places to do your research for actual pricing, but we want actual pricing, actual vendors, where the stuff is coming from, and you're actually going to document it in a spreadsheet. So you're going to spend a little time using a spreadsheet. Again, watch the extended tutorial because it's going to show you how to do your additions and multiplications. And you can even see there's a little version of that right here in this little window, showing you how to actually use the spreadsheet tools to do your calculations. Makes your life a lot easier. You will lose points if you don't show your formulas, so we want to make sure your formulas are there. And then you're going to explain it all. Show us your solution. You could make a Prezi, you can make a PowerPoint, slides, picture charts, whatever you feel like making, to give yourself that visual aid to explain everything that's going on with your presentation, with your proposal. Tell us how that money is going to get spent. Try and account for every single cent. That one is important. A lot of times students kind of miss the boat on getting all the money. As much as it, you're not going to get exactly $30,000, but you can get real close. If you're creative, you can get pretty close. So that's the part that can take you a little time, is figuring out how much and how to get to that money. Because in a real situation, that's exactly what we do when we write grants. We have to maximize that budget. Otherwise, that money that we don't use just gets sent back. And they don't want the money back. They gave it to you for a reason. So you want to make sure you use as much of it as you can. Then you present. So then you're going to use your screencasting tool to create a presentation very similar to what I'm doing right now, talking through, and you don't have to be on camera. I'm usually on camera, but you don't have to be. You can choose to keep that part off and go for about 5 to 10 minutes. Tell us what you are doing, what your proposal is, why you think it's a good idea, why you think the stuff that you're putting out there is going to help the students in that school be successful. So there are some examples here in our course that you can take a look at. I have a couple different ones, a couple different levels. So there's a high school one and an elementary one to give you, two different ideas about how this kind of thing can be approached, including their whole packages. So actually in Tyler's here, you're going to see that his presentation link is on his first slide of his PowerPoint, so you can go to it from there. Laura's is separate. Hers is a MP4 file, so you can watch it from directly in Blackboard. So I would highly recommend taking a look at those, as well as the extended lecture, to help you get more of an idea of this whole process. It's fun. It's it's enlightening to see how much stuff costs and how to put all those pieces together. But be creative, and of course, always ask questions if you have any.